Good evening, and welcome to my playthrough of Resident Evil 1 Remake HD Remaster, which is a heck of a title. So, Resident Evil 1 Remake is probably one of my favourite games of all time. It's definitely my favourite Resident Evil, so I feel like it encapsulates a lot of what Resident Evil to me should be in a lot of ways. Resident Evil 2 Remake came close, but it was just a little bit just off for me. There's a couple points in that game where I think it could be better, but this one I think is the perfect Resident Evil, maybe the perfect classic Resident Evil example, I guess. So yeah, I decided to play it, and while I'm playing it, I'm going to basically use this as a kind of guide as well for new players, maybe people who want to play it, but they're a little intimidated by the control scheme or the difficulty, or they're just really not clear what's going on. So I will describe like what I'm doing, why I'm doing it, so stuff like that. And also, for this playthrough, because I'm playing on PC, I'm using two mods, which is the REupscale, which has taken all of the background textures, and I assume used AI upscaling or something to make them a little more sharper, a little more clear, because unfortunately, from going from the GameCube to the modern HD release, I think they lost some files at some point during the years, so it's literally, they're just upscaling them with no treatment or no anything really. So some of the textures in the base game look very bad, in some particular areas. So this upscale has upscaled them and made them look much more crisper and just better in general. I'm also using the REtcon mod, which changes mostly stuff to do with the character models. It makes certain textures more sharper. The one you'll notice probably most of all is the fact that they've adjusted Jill's character model and outfit so it looks a lot more blue, because when you play the original, in the cutscenes Jill is wearing a blue outfit, but when you actually play the game, the in-game model kind of looks more green. I think it was better to suit the lighting or something, but it looks a little more green. So it makes it a little more in line with the CG cutscenes and the general original design. So that's the two mods I'm using. I'll put them on screen and leave links below. So if you're playing on PC, I highly recommend those. They're very easy to install. You just download them and click them and drag them and put them in the file there. So yeah, let's get on with it.
Resident Evil.
That's what we're playing. So here's the game setup. I'm going to leave it on wide. You can have it on widescreen, or you can put it in the original 4x3. Gonna put it on widescreen just for the hell of it. I'm going to use the original controls, although I will say alternate controls is probably good for a person who's never played this game before, or a person who's never played a fixed camera tank controls. We can go into that later though, I'll show you the differences, but I'm going to stick with the original. Okay, here we go. So the first thing we got here is basically the difficulty select, but it's a little weird and it's worded not exactly helpful, so we'll go through this. The question is, how do you like your games? 1, like climbing a mountain, fulfilling but takes a lot of work. 2, like going for a hike, good exercise but not too strenuous. 3, like taking a walk, you can relax and enjoy yourself. So, translated into actual video game terms, that is, from the top going down, normal, easy, and very easy. That's how they translate, basically. And the differences between these are certain things like how many enemies they are, enemy placement, how much health the enemies have, like how many bullets it takes to knock a zombie down, stuff like that, how much health you have, how much resources you're going to find around, so ammo and health. It will increase on lower levels and decrease in higher levels. For new players, I'd suggest starting with easy or very easy. One of these two, either 2 or 3, because if you've never played a game like this before, it does take a little bit of getting used to. When I first played this when I played this in 2004 or 5, I played on easy. And then later on went up to normal, and I think that's probably the best way of playing it. Alright, there we go. And now we have character select. So, there are minor differences and minor story differences between the two characters. Continuing where I was talking about for new players, I'd suggest playing as Jill Valentine your first time, because she has a lot of stuff, and I don't want to get into spoilers, though I guess we'll get into it later, but she has a lot of stuff that is very, it's just more accessible for new players, to be honest. She has more inventory space, she has more variety of weapons, she has certain storyline or character interactions that make the game easier, and she has a special item that makes the game much, much easier, whereas Chris has fewer inventory spaces, so it's a lot harder to get around, and there's a lot more backtracking with Chris because he can only carry so much stuff, and he needs to get more items, technically, than Jill as well, which can get kind of annoying, though he does have more health, and his shots are more likely to get a critical decapitation, which we'll explain that later. Basically, he has a higher % chance of shooting a zombie in the head and the head exploding, but which makes sense because he's the point man of Alpha Team, so story reasons that supports that. Whereas Jill has less health, and she doesn't get quite as many critical hits, but I would say for new players, Jill is the best character to choose from. And so for the sake of this Let's Play, I'm going to play as Jill, although I might go back and play as Chris as well. Maybe just do a shorter video on him, but we're going to go with Jill this time. There we go. Jill Valentine. And saving.
Alpha Team is flying around the forest zone situated in northwest Raccoon City, where we are searching for the helicopter of our compatriots, Bravo Team, who disappeared during the middle of their mission.
We'll see more of that in Resident Evil 0.
Bizarre murder cases have recently occurred in Raccoon City. There are outlandish reports of families being attacked by a group of about 10 people. Victims were apparently eaten.
I always think that would make an interesting game or TV series.
But we lost contact.
Look, Chris.
Bravo Team's helicopter was a derelict. Save for the remaining body of Kevin.
It's interesting how this game has kind of a little bit of found footage in it. I don't know if that was directly inspired by like Blair Witch or something.
We continued our search for the other members, and it turned into a nightmare.
A little bit of Blair Witch, but a little bit of Aliens. There's that section where they go into the refinery or the nuclear plant where they've got the cameras on the shoulder just like this. So it might be an Aliens kind of inspiration. Jump scare fake out, which then leads into what I like to call the Evil Dead shot. There we go. Yeah, that shot is very similar to the end of Evil Dead. It's a very Sam Raimi camera shot. So this is a lot more graphic than the original, and it's in general the presentation is such a huge, and I don't know if you noticed there, but you get to see Joseph there get his throat ripped out, which is disturbing, but this is so much more graphic and just so much more well done than the original. Thanks, Chris. The original is basically a bunch of actors in bad cosplay running around some heavily grassed area being chased by hand puppets. It hasn't aged well. I mean, to be fair, it wasn't very good at the time either. But this is just such a huge step up in every conceivable way. Oop. Slow motion Evil Dead shot.
Chris, this way.
It always makes me smile. Oh, hey, Barry.
Damn it! Make for that mansion!
There's a mansion? Enter the survival horror. The survival horror.
There are only 3 STARS members left now. Captain Wesker, Barry, and myself. We don't know where Chris is.
Suspicious.
What is this place?
Not quite your ordinary house, that's for sure.
Hey, Wesker, where's Chris?
Jill, no. You don't want to go back out there.
But we've got to find...
What was that?
Chris?
No.
Jill, go and investigate.
Jill recognizes Chris'
I'm going
handgun.
with her.
Sounds apparently.
Chris and I go back a long way.
All right. You two go. I'll secure this area.
I'm trying desperately
Stay
not
sharp.
just to quote the dialogue from the first game. Chris and I were partners, you know. There is also a mod if you want to skip the doors, by the way. I haven't installed it because I kind of like the doors, but yeah. Alright. Looks clear. Let's go.
A dining room.
Alright. And now we're in. Let's have a quick look around. Now, I'm going to do something I usually don't do, which is save the game here. And the reason why I'm going to do that is because I want to show something off. Take the ink ribbon. So this is how we save our game. Even saving is a resource in this, which I think a lot of people have trouble with, but I honestly think there's plenty of ink ribbons in the game if you search around enough. I've never really found it to be a problem, but I know for some people, like, they want to save all the time. You just need to ration out your saves. Alright. Let's get into this. Let's get through this section and then we can talk about the controls and stuff later. Let's go see what Barry's doing.
I think you'd better take a look at this.
What is it?
Oh.
Blood. Jill, see if you can find any other clues. I'll be examining this.
Gonna taste it some more?
It's not Chris's.
Alright, you investigate that then. Right, so this room's clear. Let's, we still need to find out where that gunshot came from, so let's go down here. I have a sneaking suspicion it may have come from this direction, so let's go have a peek down this corridor. Uh-oh. Well, and there's the Resident Evil zombie head turn. We need to get out of here. Ugh. Now I could stand and fight him, but you know what? Let's get back to a safe location and maybe take him on somewhere with some distance and a little more light. Also, we have Barry to help too.
Barry!
What is it?
Look out! It's a monster!
Count the
Let me
shots.
take care of it.
1, 2, and 3. That's a tough zombie.
What the hell is this thing?
I found Kenneth killed by this thing. Let's report this to Wesker.
All right, so that's the normal way of how we usually do this section, but I'm gonna show another way it can turn out, and this is I think a lot of people didn't know about this for a long time, and I think how it came to fame or it came to be known by the mass public is I think some streamer was using a randomization mod, and they walked through a door and got this cutscene. It's very interesting because I didn't know about it for a long time either. Let's just skip. So, instead of going down that door, if we go back through this door to the main hall, we can go talk to Wesker. And this will actually give us a couple unique cutscenes that you wouldn't normally see.
That gunfire. I'm counting on you to investigate, Jill.
Sure thing, Wesker.
Okay. So that's the game letting us know you have to go the other way. You can't come back this way. You're set. Go down that way. Go investigate the noise. But what if I didn't and just decided to go back out again?
Got cold feet already? That's not like you.
Alright, Barry. Thanks. Okay. Better check this place out first. So, we can't go back at all. We have to go this way.
Who is it?
Uh-oh.
You! Freeze! Get away from him, Jill! He's insane!
There we go. 2 shots that time. So there you go, there's a unique cutscene.
What the hell?
We better report this to Wesker.
Alright, let's go. Let's go and report this to Wesker. So yeah, it's just a fun little thing that you can do. Not many people know about that. Oh, he left. We'll leave too.
Wesker! Jill, help me look for him. But let's not leave this hall.
Good idea.
Okay. And we look around the hall. Now, whatever you do, don't open the front. Actually, better finish searching the hall first. You can open the door. I wouldn't advise it, but you can open it. Wesker, where are you hiding? So, really all you have to do is go up that staircase and come back down. So, yeah, let's do that. If you're speedrunning the game, for instance, you can go up and round and have a look around the whole area. But, no, it doesn't look like Wesker's anywhere. It's completely empty in here.
Barry.
Any luck, Jill?
No, nothing.
Nothing.
What's going on around here? I can't figure it out.
Same here.
Chris, and now Wesker.
There's not much we can do. We can search for him separately. I'll investigate the dining room again.
Okay, then. I'll try the door on the other side.
This mansion is gigantic. We could easily get lost. Let's start from the first floor.
Okay.
Oh! I almost forgot.
Oh?
It's a lockpick. You'd make better use of it.
So there we have Jill's unique item, the lockpick.
Thanks. I may need it.
Listen, if something happens, let's meet up in this hall. Got it?
Makes sense?
Okay.
Alright, now we're into the game proper. We can basically go wherever we want to go and have a look around. So as you can see with Jill, she has 8 inventory slots, and she has the lockpick. These are unique to her character. Both these things I feel make the game much easier, especially for first-time players, because Chris only has 6 inventory slots, so he can't carry as much with him, and he doesn't get the lockpick. He has to actually go around and find individual keys himself, which takes up an inventory space, which is already at a premium. So, one of the many reasons why I advise playing as Jill first. We're going to do what Barry says and go around here. Woman drawing water. I see. Oh, there's a shiny up in there. If you look up into the jar, whatever the hell that thing's called. You look up there, there's a shiny, and that's how Resident Evil 1 lets you know there's an item. So, let's get that item. And to do that, we need to push this. And we do that, we're just walking into it. This will come up a bit later on too. You can move out. You can move certain items around. I feel like they're a bit obvious with this HD remaster because their textures are much sharper, and you know they're not a 2D plane. Oops, I missed. That's the thing you're gonna have to get used to with this game as well, is their perspective can sometimes be weird. There's a map of the mansion first floor. And then we have our map. So, as you can see, it shows you which room you're in with this little thing here. The most useful thing about this map is the colors. As you can see, this is green, which if you look at the top right, that means there are no items left in there. However, the room we're in now, there's an item in here somewhere. So we need to go find it, and that's a good way to make sure that you've not missed anything. Got the map of the mansion 1F. So, let's jump down. And then I'm going to push this all the way back over here for no particular reason. You know, just something to do. Want this place to look nice and neat. Yeah, there we go. You know what, I'm gonna adjust it a little bit. There. So, what's this door here? It's locked. An emblem of a sword is carved into the lock. Now, how would you open the map again? We look at the map. We can't get through there. So, it's pretty obvious, but any door that's marked red is locked. Any door that's marked grey, we don't know about yet. Right. Let's go check on what's on the other side of this. Very slowly. There's a lot of art back here in this random corridor. Ooh, a shiny. Will you take the dagger? Defensive items. Using defensive items such as daggers will allow you to escape momentarily when grabbed by an enemy. However, you will not be able to escape if the enemy grabs you from behind. To equip defensive item, go to the status screen and select the item from the defensive menu. If your defensive item mode is set to manual in the controller settings, you must press LB to use the defensive item. Never turn that off. In my opinion, never turn it on to manual. There is no point, leave it on automatic. It's just going to be easier that way. So, this was something that Resident Evil 1 introduced. It was the first one to do it. Because it used to be you get grabbed by a zombie, you get bit, there's not much you can do, but now you have an item to stop them from biting you. Which is very, very useful, and something they continued on in Resident Evil 2 Remake. Uh-oh. Oh no. And now we get to test our defensive item. So, if we let this zombie come up and grab me by the front, she pulls out the knife, stabs him, and we can get away from him. Now, unfortunately for us, that knife is gone. There is a couple ways of getting it back, but considering where this zombie is, that knife's gone. We're not getting it back. Now, the reason why I put this chest of drawers in the way is when he comes around the corner, eventually. No, I think he might be confused, but basically that zombie can't get out of there now. Thus, I don't need to spend any ammo. I didn't use any of my health getting injured, so I got away from that for free. You don't have to go down there, but it's just to introduce you to that dagger mechanic. So we can't go that way. We have to go elsewhere. So let's go back over to the dining room because there was other doors in that direction. This is probably a good time to talk about the controls when you're playing this game. For the first time, if you've not played tank controls before or fixed camera angles, the one thing you should remember is the game is controlled from the character's perspective, not the camera, as you would probably naturally think. So looking at this camera right now, you would think you would have to walk towards the camera by pressing down. But that's not how this works. You're controlling the character from the character's point of view. So to walk forward, you have to press forward. To walk backwards, you press backwards. So keep that in mind when you're playing a game like this. Wherever the character is facing, they will walk forward. You're controlling it from their perspective, not the camera. Then run. And walk. Now, there's not really any disadvantage of running around, apart from like one little section. You're not going to attract... I don't think you can attract like monsters by running around. Maybe if you're trying to be sneaky, but it doesn't really matter. For the most part, you can run around, and I wouldn't worry about it. This isn't like something like Signalis, where running will cause enemies to come after you. So, another thing you want to do. We know there's a zombie in this corridor, right? We know he's in here, but I can't see him. He could be up that hallway, he could be back down where we saw him. In fact, we can hear him walking. He's coming for us. What do we do here? We press the aim button. And your character will auto-aim to wherever the zombie is. He's up there. So if I turn the character round and press aim, she's going to turn right back around. When you're playing this game, it's best every time you walk into a room, immediately press the aim button. Just so you know if there's any off-screen zombies. Because that's him there. Now, we could go up there, or we could completely ignore him. we might not need to go up there yet. You know? If we look at the map, yes, there's a door there, but it's locked. There's another around the corner there, there's a staircase, but I don't know if I need to go down there yet. Possibly, possibly not. On the other hand, if we head west, there's a door that's coloured grey. That's probably openable. We can get through there. So for the time being, we could ignore the zombie. We don't have to bother with him. He doesn't bother us. We can save our ammo. And that's the name of the game. Well, the name of the game is Resident Evil, but it should be called Save Your Damn Ammo. Ooh, can I not inspect his body? The corpse of your comrade Kenneth that you're standing in. It looks like he's holding something. It's the film that belonged to Kenneth. I need a video player to see what's recorded on it. Alright, we'll get to that later. But we need to head down here and through this door. There we go. Kind of a cool camera angle. So yeah. New room. Turn to the side slightly. Turn to an angle where you know there's not a zombie. Alright. So, that means there's no zombie in front of us. We're good. Again, nothing. That's a good, it's just a little trick so you can be a little more careful. The other hand, pay attention to the noise. Because sometimes zombies will walk around, sometimes they'll moan and make noises, but sometimes they will be quiet. It's sections like this where you want to kind of be careful. Okay? Not auto-aiming anything, so that's a good sign. And there's some handgun ammo there. Good. Now you can look around these areas, and if you click on various objects, you'll get some text that gives you a little backstory. There's a corpse collapsed on the floor, like it was an instant death. What the hell happened in this mansion? It's a great question. Okay, there are some herbs over here. Herbs are the healing item of Resident Evil. I think it's a Japanese thing. I don't really know. It's weird. But if we pick these two up, obviously, that's 6 item slots gone in our inventory. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to take one, and I'm going to combine them together down into one. You can do that up to 3 times. But it's a good way to save some inventory space. A better way is to not pick them up at all. Because they will stay there. Items that you haven't picked up will basically stay there forever, and you can always come back and get them. Just so long as you remember. So make a mental note, or make a physical note on a piece of paper or something. Unfortunately in this game, unlike Resident Evil 2 Remake, items don't appear on your map, which is kind of a shame. I think the Resident Evil 2 Remake is the best way of doing that. When you see an item, it appears on your map so you can keep track of where it all is. Let's go through this door now. Now, once again, new door, new area. Oh, hey. That looks like an awful lot like feet on the ground. But Jill's not auto-targeting the whatever that is. That zombie, so it's probably safe. Uh-oh. The zombie just gave away his position. Now, if we be very careful here. Now, I don't know if you can see that. In the mirror up at the top there, you can see a zombie. And obviously, we'll auto-aim at the zombie. This is a very narrow corridor. Let's have a look here. As you can see, this is a very narrow corridor. I could try and get past the zombie. I'd probably be able to. I could run past him and get away, but then he's going to be on us. So the best thing to do, shoot him and kite him over this way. Okay. He's down. That took a lot less shots than I thought. I am playing this on normal, right? Usually doesn't take 2 shots to kill this guy. So as you can see, from the way he landed, you can see a pool of blood spread out from underneath him. That means he's dead. If that doesn't happen, he's going to get back up again. Another way to test that out is aim. Auto-aim isn't aiming at him. But if the pool of blood comes out from underneath his body, he's dead. It's very suspicious that I only took 2 bullets. I did press normal, right? I think I pressed normal. Let's assume I pressed normal. I think I did. I'm not really sure. Ooh, another shiny. But as you can hear, there's another zombie somewhere. We're not auto-aiming, so there's a possibility he's around a corner here. Let's very carefully grab this. So I think, for instance, maybe I'm wrong. I think, for instance, right now, if I was to run around, that zombie would come after us. So maybe I was wrong about running. Ignore that. Okay, examine an item. From the status screen, select item, and then examine. Let's not do that right now, because you see in that mirror up there, you can just see the zombie's foot. This corridor is teaching you zombies are going to be out of your periphery. You're not going to be able to see them, they're going to be around corners, they're going to be hidden by camera angles. So, we'll start shooting. Shoot, shoot. Oh, and he's down. Okay. So, there's no blood coming from his body. He's going to get back up. So we're going to leave. We're not going to kill him, because that's going to cost more ammo. Avoid them completely. Knock them down. Outmaneuver them. Do whatever you need to do to not kill them. This isn't a game where you need to kill all the enemies or you get extra points for killing the enemies. You need to strategically take them down, strategically ignore them completely, or guide them around like with this guy right now. If we look at the map, we can see here this is a big circle around this place. He's going to follow us one way, so we can very casually walk around, maybe run if he gets a bit too close. But he's going to follow us, but we've got enough space in this room to get around him, or at least have him follow us in a way where he's not getting too close, as you can see here. We can just keep walking around this room, so we don't need to kill him. We can get around him fairly easily. As long as you pay attention, use the auto-aim to figure out where he is and go the opposite direction. I'm going to push the statue off the ledge for no particular reason. I just feel like a little bit of light vandalism. And again, do this by walking into it, and there. Done. Okay, where is he? He's right behind me. Let's quick turn. And run away. There he is. So we can get around him fairly easily. If you want to, check the doors. It's locked with an emblem of a sword. Now that goes on the map, we know it's locked. Again, Resident Evil 2 Remake does that a little bit better by telling you on the map which one's which. Right, so let's go back through here. So, as you can see, that's the basic idea of how to get around zombies. Try not to kill them unless... we'll get into it later. There's usually a way around the zombie. Now that we're nice and safe, let's have a look at this item. So we'll go down to the item, and we'll go to examine. And we'll take that off. And then we have an arrowhead. The arrowhead is made of peridot, sometimes referred to as poor man's emerald. Alright. Now that is a key item. That isn't a resource like these things, that is a key item. And I'm running out of space. Right, where haven't we been? We've tried all the doors. Basically they're all locked. Except this one here. May not look like it, but that's a door. So we're gonna go out here. Ooh. Carefully down the steps, don't want to run into anything. And as you can hear, we can hear the footsteps of a zombie. So there's a zombie. Oh, there he is. And I'm in the way here. Let's get out of the way. Get some distance. My gun is now out of ammo. Now, I could let the press the fire button and reload it manually, but there is an easier way of doing that, which I'll show you now. So if you go into the menu, this pauses the game. You can go into combine, and then combine with that, and then the gun's reloaded, and you don't have to spend time on an animation that can otherwise get you injured, let's say. Now I think he's still alive. Is he? Yep, I think he's still alive. Wait for him to come down. Just so I can keep track of him. I don't want him to be up there and me running back literally into his arms. Let's go down here. Oh, there's another zombie. Now, if you look very carefully, you'll see... I'm in the wrong side. You'll see, next to the zombie's feet there is a box. We're going to leave that alone for now. We don't need it this second. And remember, it will always be there until you pick it up. Right. Oh yeah, let's look at this first. So, I know the game, so I know what I'm doing here. You find a lock or a puzzle or something, and then you go find the solution to that. We've skipped the first part. Tomb engraved with a picture of an angel. There's an indentation on the arrowhead, which we just picked up. We slap that in there. It opens this thing. Here comes one of my favorite camera angles, which is a weird thing to say. I know, but it's one of my favorite camera angles. Because it's just, it's like a Dutch angle. It's off kilter. You're descending. There's fire. Everything about this camera angle says you are heading into trouble. Nothing good is waiting for you at the bottom of this corridor or staircase. It's such a good camera angle, and that's the great thing about fixed camera angle games like this, is you can tell a lot of story, you can imply a lot of atmosphere just through a good direction when it comes to the camera angles. And I think that's what a lot of people miss by not playing games like this. Well, this looks like a fun place. Let's have a look at these statue bust things over here. Stone statue with a hole where eyes should be. Stone statue with eyes, nose, and mouth should be. Sorry. Stone statue with a hole where the nose should be. And a stone statue with a hole where the mouth should be. So, we need to find 4 things to put on here. For some reason. We don't know what yet. That's just how Resident Evil works. I'm more confused about that gigantic gear up there. What's that doing? Oh, hello. That's ominous. And there's a pedestal over here with a shiny on it, so let's go investigate that. That zombie's making a lot of noise. Book is fitted perfectly into the indentation. Book of Curses. Okay. The coffin, sarcophagus, whatever, hasn't fallen on us yet, so that's a good sign. Let's have a look at that book. It's titled Book of Curses. Okay, so, like some games like this, you have to look at the item from multiple angles. If we turn it around, we'll find a key. I will remove the key. We got the mansion key. We can open the Book of Curses. The 4 masks. A mask that speaks no evil, a mask that smells no evil, a mask that sees no evil, a mask that cannot speak, smell, or see evil. When all 4 fall into place, evil will awaken. So that's giving us a little bit of context of what these stone statues over here are. We need to find 4 masks to awaken evil, even though that seems like a bad idea. But that's the clue you need, so we can head back out. Now, the question is, how close is this zombie gonna be? Let's be a little careful here. I do have a defensive dagger, so it's not gonna be all that bad if he grabs me, but I would like to get around him without him grabbing me. I don't know where he is though. There he is. Oop, going around. There we go. So like I just did, you can get around them. You just need to be a little bit careful. There we go. Let's have a look at that key we just picked up. Let's see here. Key. Examine. We turn it around. Oh, there's an engraving of a sword. And now it's called the sword key. That actually changed the item description. Or the name, should I say. And if you remember, the first door we went to, over here, needed a key with a sword engraved into it. As well as the one back in the dining room upper floor. This is the main problem of the game, is trying to keep track of what goes where. So if you do have trouble, I would consider maybe writing that down. You can hear that zombie still parading around in there, but here he comes. Whenever he's ready. Just move that away slightly. So he cannot get past this. He is stuck there. And we never have to deal with him. That is essentially a zombie who's been taken out by not killing him. You use the sword key. Let's go into a new hallway. This hallway is kind of infamous, especially with people who played the original. And part of the genius about this remake as well, it's a very large, long hallway. Suspiciously so. Now, that window there just smashed for some reason. In the original Resident Evil 1 for the PlayStation 1, a zombie dog would burst through that window and start chasing you down this hallway, and a second one would as well. But for this remake, knowing that they knew people were expecting it, they kind of did a little trick there, using your own expectations and knowledge against you. So the first time I played this was like, I was like, oh no, it's this, I hate this hallway, they're gonna chase me and it's gonna be bad, and then that happened. I was like, oh no. Because the game's letting you know, just because you played the original one doesn't mean everything's gonna be the exact same. And it's good because it heightens the tension a lot too. Now you may have just saw me move that thing out of the way. Again, you can spot the difference between that and that. Look at how nice and crisp those textures are compared to that. That's because that is a full 3D movable object. It's like the old Hanna-Barbera cartoons where you'd see an item on like a bookcase and you're like, oh, he's going to pick that book up because it's drawn or the cell is colored differently. Like everything else is this really nice background and this is like a very light green, very simplistic. It's going to pick that book up. It's like that. I'm aging myself now, definitely. So we can go over here and move this one. As you can see, just underneath it there was a shiny object. And we got some more ammo. Doing pretty alright for ammo. Right, so yeah, usually this hallway has you being chased by zombie dogs, but not this time. Unless maybe later on. It's a good camera angle. Don't know why. It's a very hero shot camera angle, isn't it? Yeah, you get to show off the character models, I guess. But once again, aim, auto aim. Nothing. We're good. I'm gonna run out of inventory space soon because I picked up the ink ribbon. I usually don't pick it up. You used the lockpick. So there are certain doors in the game that require either Jill's lockpick or Chris using a very specific old key. And Jill doesn't need to worry about A, finding those, and B, carrying them. So there's another reason why Jill is an easier one for the new player to play. There is a dog there, but as you can see, my auto-aim isn't aiming at the dog. So it's safe to say, for now at least, that dog cannot harm us. Ooh. There's another one, but can't auto-aim. Chemical to use on plants. Sure, why not? I'll take it, we might need that for something. As you can see here, we got some herbs, but I'm not going to pick those up actually. No, you know what? I'll pick one up, and then we can combine it into our other one. That dog's going nuts. There we go. There are some other herbs out here. We could take them. I don't particularly need them right now. You can come back later, but keep in mind that sometimes in places like this one, rooms that were safe once before may not be safe anymore. And sometimes it depends on how many times you go through a certain room or corridor. Things will change. That's a good camera angle. Because that makes it seem like there's something's going to come wandering down that hallway. Again, camera angles, they keep you on your toes. It gives the illusion that you're being watched as well, but it suggests certain things might happen, and sometimes they don't happen. But it's always keeping you on the edge of your seat. Always keeps you on the edge of your seat with the, I guess, the potential of something happening. It's full of dirty water. Remove the plug? Yes. I don't know what it is with survival horror games and bathtubs. It's a thing. Whoa. Oh, he's really pruny. Ew. Can you imagine the smell? That thing's been in the water for God only knows how long and is rotting. Probably exacerbated by the water itself. I don't blame you, Jill. That must smell horrible. Oh, look, a dagger. Now, that's a fun cutscene. If you do that with Chris, it doesn't turn out the same way. Another reason why it's better to play as Jill your first time around. Alright, let's go down this hallway here. Gotta be very careful. Nope, nothing. It's very quiet right now, I was gonna say. Let's check this door. Oh. Well, that's a very opulent room, isn't it? Strange. Huh. It's just a really nice art room, I guess. Oh. No, more daggers. How many daggers have I got now? Alright, so yeah, once again, you can look around the room, you can start, use the use button to get bits of dialogue. There are traces of something burnt here, an acrid smell permeates the air. There's some nice little dialogue that, like, fills out the world, adds some little dialogue here and there. Picture stands and bronze statues. There's nothing of interest here. Some of them don't do anything. Oh. Well, that's handy. Will you take the shotgun? I'm sure it's nothing. Oh, and there's an ink ribbon, but because I already have one in my inventory, that will stack. I don't remember how many they stack to. I don't know if there's an upper limit for that or not. But now my inventory's full, which isn't great. Alright, let's head out. We got a shotgun though, which will be useful. Very useful getting rid of some of the zombies, I think. Let's head back through and continue on our exploration. Uh-oh. It seems that the shotgun was a trap. The door won't open. This one won't either.
God. What did I do now? Wesker! Barry! Help!
Jill! You in there?
Convenient Barry.
Get me out of here! The door's jammed!
Stand back!
Don't do that. That's about it. Ooh.
Grab my hand!
One thing I like here is how the camera angle is lower on the door. That was unnecessary, but they did it anyway.
Barry.
That was a close one.
Sure was.
A second late, you would have fit nicely into a sandwich.
Really? Thanks.
A what kind of sandwich?
Barry, didn't you say you were going back to the dining room to find other clues? I'm glad and all, but why are you here?
I just had something I wanted to check. Anyway, we should get back to searching for Wesker and Chris.
Okay. Can we not stick together?
Thanks, Barry. I owe you one.
Don't mention it.
So, once again, another reason why it's easier playing as Jill. Barry helps you out in certain times. If we were playing as Chris, we wouldn't be able to do that. Chris has a whole convoluted thing that he has to do in order to get that shotgun. But Jill can skip it altogether, which is nice. It's very quiet in this room. Oh. Was that my footsteps or something else? That might have been mine. Let's... Oh no, there's a zombie in here, alright. Well, let's go through this door first. Oh. Oh, there you are. Start blasting. Nice. Alright, so what happened there was I got a critical headshot, and that zombie's head just exploded. But unfortunately, there are several other zombies in here with us. Let's go deal with them first. I will explain why after we have done away with them. Uh-oh. Oh, he vomited! That is a surprisingly rare zombie attack, actually. Oh, he's down. Or is he? Nope, he's still alive because we're auto-aiming at him. Now, you might have noticed why I was aiming, but I was aiming up because the zombie is elevated. Okay, I think he's down again. Just listening in, using the sound cues. As you can see there, red blood coming out of his torso. He is dead. He's not getting back up. But I can hear another zombie. Let's go upstairs. But before doing that, I'm going to reload my gun. It pays to have a fully stocked gun before starting to fight with another zombie. There he is. He hasn't noticed me yet. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we're gonna run. And I'm gonna stop down here and aim up. 6, 7, 8, 9. Ooh, he's tough. This is a tough zombie. Now, I'm going to try something very difficult right now. And it may not work because this guy landed in an awkward position. I'm going to try and get that zombie to land on the other zombie. Now, that's kind of worked. That might have worked. Yes, he's dead now. He was tough. That took like 10 shots. Yeah, that took 10 shots to put him down. The shot is the amount of bullets it takes to kill the zombies is somewhat randomized. So, I've managed, thankfully, hopefully, I've got those zombies on top of each other. The reason why is I'll show you right now. Let's go into here. There's a lot to talk about right now. I've got a lot of systems to talk about. This music means we are in what is referred to in the fanbase as a safe room, or a save room. The nice calming music means we are completely safe in here, and it's where we can save our game, and it's also where the item chest is. So if we go over there now, and open up, this is where I can store most of my, or all of my stuff. So we're gonna get rid of the things I don't need right now, which includes the shotgun, and the herb, because I don't usually wander around with herbs. If you look very carefully, there's a note on the ground here. What I really like about this note is you can see there's a footprint on the page, which is really a nice little detail because it's on the ground, someone stood in at some point. So, special instructions for the disposal of dead bodies. We have new information regarding those beings. They may appear to be dead, but in fact they're able to come back to life. However, there are ways to prevent them from coming active again. Currently, there are 2 known methods to cease the resurrection. 1, incineration. 2, destruction of the head. Now, I got really lucky, and I got a critical headshot on that zombie outside and blew away his brain. He's dead. He's gone for good. If further methods are discovered, you'll be notified immediately. Meanwhile, to those of you who still have the will to live, oil has been placed on the first floor of the mansion. Take as much as you need. You'll need something to light it with, which you'll need to find yourself. Basically, the game is telling us now, those creatures, the zombies as I'm calling them, the game hasn't called them that yet, or ever, they will come back to life. Even after you shoot them, even after you see the blood coming out from the corpse, there is a invisible timer when those things are going to get back up. We don't want that. It's very bad. It's very, very, very bad. We'll see why in a bit. But I managed to get these 2 zombies on top of each other, which might mean, by the way, I can burn them with 1 use of the fuel. But unfortunately, Jill doesn't have anything to use to light a fire, while Chris does. Chris's special item, as opposed to Jill's lockpick, is a lighter. We need to go find a lighter. Let's unlock the door. Let's go through here. Ooh, zombie. Let me just grab this thing. Can I get past this guy without him grabbing me? Nope. Damn. Dagger to the head. Now, I've lost that dagger. If I was to get a headshot and destroy the brain, I could get that dagger back. But that's very hard to do. It's very rare to do with a handgun. You can do it with a shotgun, but it's a little finicky. Now, because I stabbed that zombie in the head, that is actual damage. So he's going to take 2 free, maybe let's say that's 2 free bullets worth of damage. If I go out and shoot him again, he's going to take more damage and he's going to die. He should be okay, he'll probably get back up. They usually don't die from a dagger to the head. Oh, a dog whistle. A crumpled memo. Today, Sir Spencer told me to hide something where no one could find it. Well, I had this idea. I figured if I could somehow have it protected by a dangerous animal, like the vicious canine that lives here, no one would be able to get near it. As far as I can tell, the mutt is always hanging around the second floor balcony on the west side of the terrace, and he ought to come running at the sound of a dog whistle. This is where you come in. The thing is, I reckon you're the only person that can get near that damn dog without risking a serious mauling. Which means only you can put this collar on him. The object that Sir Spencer wants hidden is concealed inside. You're the only person I can trust with this. Of course, you'll get something out of it as well. Remember that certain item you've always wanted to get hold of? Well, in exchange for your services, I just might be able to get it for you. This could work out well for the both of us. John Tolman. Now, if you look at the photo, that is a clue of where we need to go next. You may have noticed like something like that when we were running around the dining room. And there's some bullets over here. I will take the handgun bullets. Let's have a look around. There's a bunch of dialogue in here talking about the general study, I guess. The old-fashioned gramophone. The record is Jupiter. I don't realize that was a song. Open journal. Pages are blank. Alright. There it is. Lighter of lighter. Weird. So now we have the lighter and we can use this to set the zombies on fire. Words are carved on it. Don't play with fire. Love, Jessica. Okay. Now, if I look at my map, you'll notice that this room is still red. That means there's another item in here somewhere. It's very hard to see, but if you look on the desk, there is actually a note here. Botany, uses of medical herbs. It is a well-known fact that there exist many plants that are credited with medicinal healing powers, Since ancient times, mankind has been healing wounds and diseases using various plants. In this book, we will sample 3 herbs that are native to the Arklay Mountains, which is the mountain region this game takes place in. Outline each of their medical qualities. Each herb has a distinct color and a distinct medicinal quality. I got it right the first time. The green herb recovers physical strength. The blue herb neutralizes natural toxins. However, the red herb has no real effect by itself. We have found that mixing green and red herbs results in a magnified effect. We will outline the effects of red herbs when mixed with other herbs when we have more data. Meanwhile, feel free to experiment on your own, for true knowledge is only acquired through experience. That is basically explaining how the healing system works and how to mix the herbs together. And once I get more herbs, I'll talk about that more. Anyway, back to my point. You'll see now that the room is green. So, it's a good thing to keep in mind that it's not only items, like key items, resources, but notes also count as clearing a room. Let's go down here. So, we got bodies to burn. Hopefully this works. It would be very nice if this works, because it makes the game much easier. Because again, the oil that we're using is a resource. So if we stand over the corpse, go to the fuel canteen, use it, and then we need to get out the way because it will hurt us. Now, I think that got both of them. Yeah, I think that got both of them. So if we go in here, mess around with my inventory for a bit. What don't I need? Let's put the dog whistle away. Yeah, let's put that away for now. If we go back out, the bodies should be gone. If I have burned them, the bodies should be gone. I know it feels a little weird, but the fact that the bodies have disappeared is a good sign. Usually. That means the zombies are dead and gone forever. So all 3 of the zombie corpses that were out here are now gone. They're not coming back. Let's just have a quick little jump over this way. Locked. An emblem of an armor is carved into the lock, so we can't get in there yet. We've not got that key. Aha, but we can come in here. I don't know why I said that weird. Oh, a herb. Might as well pick that up. I'm right next to a safe room, so I can just dump that into my inventory box. An unlit fireplace. We should light it up. Make this place nice and cozy. Lines carved into the relief grow red in the intense heat. So this is weird, and this is where Resident Evil has kind of the point-and-click adventure that it took from the original Alone in the Dark game come seep back into it. We have this thing here that I picked up, this wooden board. If we examine it, oop, nothing unusual. We can open it up, and it's paper. Nothing's written on it. But if we take this and put it against here, the fireplace, the chimney, burns a map onto the paper. There's a map of mansion 2nd floor. There we go. And that's how we get the map. That's weird. And that's definitely where the point-and-click nature kind of comes into the game. Got the map. It's locked. Emblem of a helmet is carved onto lock, so we definitely can't get in there yet either. Let's head back to the safe room and talk about general safe room etiquette. I don't know how to describe this. This is what I do in Resident Evil games, and it helps in a lot of survival horror games. Basically, because of the way this game works, the safe room is going to be a place where we want to come back to a lot. Because it's where our item box is, it's where we can save our game. Ideally, I want this area to be safe. So when I mean that area, I mean all the hallways here and above. I want all that to be zombie free. I want to be able to go to and fro. Like maybe I'm on one side of the mansion, I'm like, oh, I need to go get an item. Or I need to save my game. I want to run back over here and I want to be able to just run straight through without having to worry about anything. I could dodge the zombies, really, but that means I have to dodge the zombies every time I come back here. I don't want to do that because you're bound to make a mistake having to go to and fro. There can be a lot of backtracking in these games, which some people detest. I don't think it's particularly too bad, but when you play it for the first time, you're probably going to be backtracking quite a bit. In order to make your life much easier, I highly advise to clear out and make the routes to and from the safe room safe. So for instance, this room that's immediately outside of here, all the zombies are gone. I punched my microphone. All the zombies are gone. So I can run back and forward for this corridor with no weapons. It's going to be easy, but there's a zombie through here. We stabbed him in the head. I want this corridor safe. 3, 4. Oh, he got me again. I should have backed up. I should have got some distance between me and him. And because I haven't done that properly, he's dead now. That's going to make this much harder. There's another zombie. There he is. Okay, let's back up. Okay, he's down, but is he dead? No, he isn't. Right, I need to try and get this guy to fall on top of this guy's corpse. That's... Okay, he's dead. That's a bit finicky. He's lying on his corpse, but I think the torsos need to be overlapping. Let's try it and see. Did I burn both of them? Maybe. I might have burnt both of them. If I did, I got incredibly lucky. This is what I refer to as stacking zombies. That's what we're doing. We come back here, both bodies are gone. Fantastic. That'll be amazing because I saved fuel. Both bodies are gone. That's great. This couldn't be a better situation right now. This is great.